I'm hanging out with Mat Fraser, and we're, from American Horror Story Freakshow. And so tell us a little bit, how did this all happen for you?
Well, I was doing a version of Beauty and the Beast with my wife. We run a production company called One of Us, which is the Call of the Freaks, in the film Freaks, for those of you who know. And we got a great review in the New York Times for our show. And unbeknownst to me, a woman from LA was in town thinking, I'll go to the theater, read the review, decided to go to that show. And when she saw me on stage, she was like, oh my God, my buddy is casting for people like this in American Horror Story. So she gave her a call and said, you got to try this guy out. And the next day I got a call asking me to audition. I did a taped audition on Photo Booth because I was actually in London at the time. And then 24 hours later they offered me the role.
Oh, that's wonderful. And you got to go to New Orleans and spend some time down in New Orleans?
I was in a studio apartment for 6 months in New Orleans. So I mean, it was pretty awesome.
So you had a great time there. And so tell us about your experiences filming and some of your favorite stories.
Well, average day was pretty hard. I'd start by doing my fake tattoos for 2 hours a day with Naomi Grossman, who played Pepper the Pinhead, to my right, getting her pinhead on, and Evan Peters getting his lobster claws on to my left. So every morning there'd be 2 hours of banter in the special effects truck and joshing and learning lines and checking in with the day. And then, typically there's 4 or 5 hours of waiting around. And then you get driven out to the bayou because we filmed on the bayou of New Orleans out by the old plantation. They clear the rattlesnakes and the alligators, and then we would film. And it was real bayou,
It's all bayou country down there. Come on.
And we're 14-hour filming days, 6 days a week. So very hard, long, grueling days. Those summer days were hard in full costume and full tattoo because it doesn't breathe properly and you sweat a lot. And then at the end of the day, you get it all scrubbed off. By then it's usually around midnight or 1 a.m. and all I was fit for normally was just going home. So that was what I did most days.
Well, it is work. It is a job.
No, it totally is a job. I mean, it sounds, hey, if you work in a biscuit factory, a cookie factory, probably sounds glamorous, but believe me, it ain't glamorous. Had great times, a lot of time chatting with Evan, made really good friends with Evan Peters. He's a lovely guy. Everyone's a lovely guy. I think it's better, everyone's really nice. Some people live the life of an actor. In other words, they could have not the head in the clouds, but that's all they know. And other people are more, they've been to the bottom, they've had a lot of life. And Kathy Bates is certainly one of those people. And for my money, she's one of the most incredible human beings I've ever met. She's kind, generous, talented, intuitive, understanding, funny, scandalously rude sometimes. I mean, if the air turned blue on set because someone would make a mistake, I'm not saying who it was, but I think you can make a guess from what I just said.
Wonderful, wonderful. So you said your background's theater, so you started out in theater, and so I'm actually curious about the Beauty and the Beast thing. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, sure. Me and my wife decided that we would attempt Beauty and the Beast, and the Beast, I would play the Beast, and my deformity would represent beastliness as perceived in society. And so we used a lot of the themes of Beauty and the Beast as metaphors. We also come in and out of the story of our lives. It's a really weird, messed up production that really hit a nerve, and it's very honest and true, and it's about self-acceptance. And you can't, as RuPaul says at the end of every drag race, if you can't learn to love yourself, how the hell are you going to learn to love somebody else?
That's so true. So what's next for you?
Well, I'm shooting a film called Hellstorm, which is a horror, which we're shooting in Ohio in November.
That's right near here in West Virginia.
And I'm also writing my own script, which is called Freak Blood, which is set in the Freak Show in Coney Island, and it's like a stripper, comedy, porno, horror thing.
Oh, that sounds excellent. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah. We may have to wait a little while because I've yet to succeed in getting any funding for it. But
well, maybe this video will help you. Maybe you launch a Kickstarter or something. Because I know you've got tons of fans, including me. And American Horror Story is such a great story. Freak Show was fantastic, and you guys look like you did have a really good time on set. I mean, and that shows in the quality product that you presented. I mean, it just seemed really, really fun.
Well, it was, and we were all there for every episode. So basically, we were like. We were each other's family for 6 months. All of us were away from our homes. Rose had both of her kids there, and Shelby and Luke, and they were just running around the whole time on set. As long as they were inside the walls of the set compound, they were safe. So they became like the production kids. Made a lot of friends, some of whom I've still got, and I fell in love with New Orleans big time.
Oh, it's hard not to.
Oh my God, I mean, of all the cities in the world, I would say that's number You know, I'd say it goes New York, London, New Orleans, Amsterdam.
Wow, that's wonderful. Well, American Horror Story Freak Show is soon to come out on DVD, so basically
Over the 7th, people.
almost there. So go ahead and get your copy there and get it. And thank you again for speaking with us.
Thank you very much. It's been a real pleasure.
Thank you. Hi, everyone.